Hello, computer graphics, digital art students. This is Mr. House. Today we're going to be looking at the random lighting tutorial, which allows you to make an interesting looking bit of wallpaper that has depth into it and isn't just flat. Normally I would be switching back and forth from Photoshop to the written tutorial. This time I'm going to run through it on Photoshop, but I expect when you do it, you'll be looking at the tutorial following the steps, which are very useful. First, as always, File New or Command N. This is random lighting. The size is 6,000 pixels wide by 4,500 pixels high at 72 resolution. Remember, this is pixels, not inches, so make sure it's set to pixels. Otherwise, the file will be way too big. Hit OK. Alright. First thing up, we make sure have black and white set down here, so you can click on this or press the D key. And we choose Filter, Render Clouds. Next, up to Image, Adjustments, Brightness Contrast, and we click the Use Legacy button and take the contrast all the way up to 100. And we get these sort of cow spots. Next, go to Filter, Distort, and Wave. Up comes the wave window. The tutorial tells you to set the maximum to 300. Remember to set the maximum first. Then go to the minimum and set it to 200. Then come down here to amplitude, set it to 50 for the max, and now click on randomize a couple times until you get to something kind of distorted. You can see it there. Hit OK, and it applies the distortion. Remember, okay, so next we're going to go to the crop tool, and we'll take this right into the center, like so, and you can see that this becomes 1/4 of the image. Alright, hit enter, and at this point you can go up to Window, or rather View, and choose Fit on Screen. And then it comes up, and we see that we've made these clouds or spots are now bigger. Alright, that was the whole point of that. Next, we create a new layer. So go to Create a New Layer, go to your Gradient tool, which is right here. Sometimes the paint bucket might be hiding it. So you just click and hold, and up comes the Gradient tool. Now, the tutorial tells you to click right on the visual representation, which means this. If we choose the drop menu, it just gives us those choices. So I want you to click right on this. Up comes the gradient editor. First, we change the gradient type from solid to noise. And now we're going to click on randomize until get to a gradient that has a good amount of difference throughout it. And what I mean by that is, see how these have just really bright colors and not many lines? You want one that shows a lot of lines. This one I think might work. I hit OK, and I'm going to click and drag from one corner all the way to the other. And up comes a gradient. At this point we're going to desaturate this image because we don't need the color, we just need the lines. So I'm going to come down to Adjustments, Image Adjustments, and Desaturate, which is also Command-Shift-U. Now right away I can see, oh, there's not enough contrast here. Those lines disappear right here. So I'm going to hit Command-Option-Z twice until I get back to my transparent layer. Remember, undo is step backward is Command Option Z, or you can go to Edit, step backwards. We're going to change this gradient again. I'm going to hit randomize a few more times, and let's try this one. I think this might work a little better. So again, click and drag from corner to corner, image, adjustments, desaturate, and now go from layer mode normal to linear light. Now we can see this layer through this one onto this one. You can see some of this canopy lighting that the tutorial talks about. Next, click on the background layer, go to Image, Adjustments, Hue Saturation, or Command U. Click on Colorize, and first start to bring down the lightness a bit. There, we can see some of that color. Now bring up the saturation. There's some more of it. If you adjust the hue, it changes the color that we're colorizing. In the tutorial, it's over here in red, or way over here in red. You can see this is all of the colors. So I'm going to try this one. And even though this looks a little different than the tutorial, the effect is the same. I can try lightening it, but when I lighten it, the color kind of goes away. So let's keep it right about there. Hit OK. And then click on this layer, and we'll go to Image, Adjustments, Brightness Contrast. Take this brightness up to 40. That's what the tutorial says. You can always click right in here and type in 40. Hit OK. And the tutorial also suggests right-clicking on this layer, choosing Duplicate. Hit OK. And you can see, whoa, right away it went too dark. We're going to change this layer mode to multiply, and then adjust the opacity. In the tutorial it says 80 to 90%. That's not enough here. I'm going to take it down, down, down. And really we may not need this layer, but you can see I'm going to take it to about there, and I can see the difference. If I turn it off, the visibility, turns it back on. So it kind of mellows it out a little bit. That's what that multiply layer does. So there you have it. Canopy lighting for a background wallpaper. Thank you for learning.